us on Times Now. Let's now tell you about what's happening as far as West Asia crisis is concerned. Confusion clouds crucial diplomacy between the United States of America and Iran. The White House has announced that its delegation is going to be traveling to Islamabad for talks with Iranian officials and will arrive there by this evening. However, Iran has denied any direct meeting with the U.S. delegation. Iran maintains that no talks are planned, and Iran, in fact, has said its message will be conveyed via Pakistan. Now, this raises serious questions about what is really happening behind the scenes. Iranian officials have made it clear that there is no planned meeting with the U.S. officials in Islamabad, at least for the moment. They have ruled out any expectation of direct talks with U.S. representatives in Islamabad. Now, there is deepening uncertainty around the next diplomatic move. While Iran has clearly ruled out any direct engagement, the White House is insisting talks are still on track in Islamabad. U.S. President Donald Trump has dispatched delegation comprising Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to Pakistan, claiming they could meet Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. However, Tehran has flatly rejected this narrative, stating no such meeting is planned and any communication will only happen indirectly via Pakistan.
The president has decided to dispatch Special Envoy Witkoff and Jared Kushner back to Islamabad. The Iranians want to talk. They want to talk in person, and so the president is, as I've said many times to all of you, always willing to give diplomacy a chance. So Steve and Jared will be heading to Pakistan tomorrow to hear the Iranians out. We hope progress will be made, and we hope that positive developments will come from this meeting, and we will see. And the president, the vice president, the secretary of state will be waiting here in the United States for updates, and the vice president, I understand, is on standby and will be willing to dispatch to Pakistan if we feel it's a necessary use of his time.
And we have some more breaking inputs coming in at this point in time, and the media quoting sources. Prospects for resumption of second round of talks between US and Iran in Islamabad, in fact, are rapidly fading as Tehran is still not ready to meet the US delegation. Continues to insist that Americans must end their blockade of the Strait of Hormuz as a precondition for opening the second round, in fact, the even possibility of a second round of negotiations between US and Iran. So this is the latest update that we are getting at this point in time. So Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi is in Pakistan, but as per reports, there are no plans for a direct meeting between the officials of US and Iran. Listen in to the reactions that we've got from defense experts.
While the conflict has been an overwhelming military success, warfare as an instrument of policy has failed because the great coercion has not transformed into any of the political objectives. So regime change, take the nuclear stuff, which lies at the center of the talks. So the nuclear dust, those highly enriched uranium, on 27 February, Iran said that we cannot hand it over to you, but within our territory, create a safeguard mechanism, IAEA or international consortium, and it is yours. 60 days down the line, that position hasn't changed. Iran is also a 5,000-year-old civilizational entity. It has a sovereignty. So American military power has done wonderfully well, but it has not been able to push, the civilizational sovereignty element of Iran beyond a point. And therefore, in my views, the talks will once again be deadlocked.
It's the biggest joke that a country which is harboring terrorism, which has indulged in everything incorrect, unprofessional, as far as the military diplomacy or national security goes. They have caused the maximum atrocities on human beings, unarmed people in the world. They're still doing these things in Afghanistan. Despite that, it is irony of fate that today Americans as well as Iranian foreign minister is there in discussing peace.
So you heard what the experts had to say on what is really happening. The expectation was that this weekend probably we are going to see second round of talks between delegations from Iran and America. Now, Iran's foreign minister is already in Islamabad right now. America has also decided to send the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner to Islamabad. America has declared that they are sending these two gentlemen, these two representatives of America to Islamabad. But Tehran is not keen to have any kind of conversation, till blockade. U.S. Navy blockade is continuing at the Strait of Hormuz. So that is a precondition of Tehran. So we'll have to wait and see what happens over the next few hours, because as per the updates coming in from the United States of America, in fact, Vice President of America, J.D. Vance, is also on standby to join the talks, provided they happen, provided Iran agrees to the second round of talks between U.S. and Iran. With this, we will slip into a very, very short break. We'll be back with lots more. Stay with us.